Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Parveen Ali and I am a senior lecturer at Health Sciences School at the University of Sheffield. In this video, we are going to talk about what do you need to consider when choosing a research topic, especially for your PhD programs. This is one of the questions that we encounter all the time from prospective PhD students or even those who are on the program, because it could be quite tricky to find out a particular topic that interests you and that is engaging and that you want to carry on working with. So we are going to talk about that today in a little bit more detail. So when deciding for a PhD topic or for a topic for your research, even if it's for master's program or bachelor's dissertation or any of the work that you wanted to do, I think it is important to look at 5 R's. I call them 5R rule. One is read. Read widely around a particular topic that interests you. Something that you're really very interested in, something that you have questions about that relate to your profession, that relate to your observation of the practices around you. Read around that particular topic as much as you can. Reading will help you understand the context around that particular topic, issues surrounding that particular topic, and what is already investigated, what people have already looked into, and what is it that you need to look into. The next question that you ask yourself, is it relevant to you? And I think this is very important question. Always choose a topic which you find interested in, which you have seen in your practice, something that keeps you interested, something that keeps you focused, something that you will always be interested to explore. Remember, if you are doing a PhD program, you might relate to or stay with that topic for next 4 or 5 years, or perhaps for the rest of your life, because that's going to be attached to you. That's always going to be part of your identity and part of your work. And you have to live with that topic in a way that you have to sleep with it, you have to kind of eat you, it's all your daily life activities that you're doing. This topic is going to be with you all the time. So the question that you need to ask yourself, is this something that you're really passionate about? How is it relevant to you? Why is it that you're interested in that particular topic? So choose something that is relevant to you, choose something that is meaningful to you. The next thing is reflect. Reflecting on the importance of the topic, reflecting on the relevance to the topic to yourself, reflecting what is known about the topic and what is not known about it. You might start off with a very generic, very broad generic idea, and reading, thinking, and reflection will help you think clearly about various different aspects of the topic, and you will be able to make it focused. And that brings up to the point about remain focused. Make sure that any topic that you choose is specific and not too broad and not too big. When people are coming for PhD programs, it's very common to think that they would like to do something which has the potential to change the world. And therefore, students may choose topics which are very broad and which can be very difficult to complete within the time scale of the PhD programs. So it is important to consider issues like, can you actually complete that topic within that time period? Is it focused enough? Is it specific enough so that you're able to look into the perspectives in detail and you're not creating a lot of work for yourself which you cannot cope with? Then the next point is reach out. So once you have thought about a topic, once you have read around that particular topic, once you have seen what different questions could be asked related to one particular topic, then reach out to the professionals, then reach out to the experts in that particular topic to ask them to help you develop your question properly, to ask them to help you to how do you actually choose something that is going to be of benefit for yourself and for the profession or for the discipline that you're working for, and that is going to be in addition to the body of knowledge that you have created. So I think these are some of the things that are really, really important to ask yourself and to look around. One of the other thing that you need to do is that when you are looking for the topics and when you're looking for the question around the topic that you want to explore, do not just go for one particular research question or the question, but have think about the topic broadly and come up with 3 or 4 questions in relation to that particular topic. It just helps you to focus that question. It just helps you to think which elements do you already know about and which elements is something that you really need to understand further. So just do that a little bit. So here it is also important to understand where do research questions come from. Well, you will see that research questions will come from usually from theory, which is an organized body of concept, generalization, and principles that can be subjected to investigation. So something that we already know about and we would like to see that if it works or not. They provide conceptually rich topics, and you could look at the issues around to confirm the theory or some aspects of the theory to see if it's working or if it's not working. The topic would also come from your personal experiences or observation, as I have said earlier on. So something that you have been experiencing or observing in your life and you're passionate about, that something could spark you and give you an inspiration for a topic. It could be a replication of the study, so something which has already happened in another context and you would like to see that particular question tested in your own context and in your own setting. Here it is important to understand and reflect if that replication is really necessary and what is it that you are going to do with the findings of the replication. Is that going to be useful the specific context or the specific population? Do you actually need to replicate, or is it something that is we already know from previous research and therefore that previous research is equally applicable to your setting as well? So these are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself when you're thinking about research question and where the research questions are coming from. There are some common problems that people encounter when they are thinking about the topics of their research, and these include deciding which area or which topic to look for, as I've already mentioned. So not being able to decide one particular aspect of the topic. This is completely normal. If you come up with too many ideas about a certain topic, I think that's something that is completely normal, and just keep thinking about it and look at different topics or different questions in relation to one topic and see which one do you think is better or not. Inability to think of a topic. There are too many things around that people think about, and therefore they cannot really choose one particular topic that they are interested in. So in these circumstances, what you need to do is, as I've said earlier on, think of your personal experiences and observations. Think about things that you're interested in. Think about things that you're passionate about, which are happening around you, and that helps you think of a topic that you would perhaps be interested in. Knowing which specific areas or subtopics, for example, health or anything else to focus on. So sometimes you have a broad topic, but you're not very sure as to what specific aspects of the topic that you want to work on. So again, thinking through, talking to other people and looking at the 5 R's that we talked about earlier would help you. Inability to clearly articulate a question. This is a very, very common problem in which many people struggle to. They may know a topic, they may know a subject that they want to explore, but what they don't know is what is a specific question that they want to answer through their research. And the only way to deal with this issue is constantly working on it, talking about it, writing about it, and reading about it. When a question comes to your mind, just put it down on paper. This will help you. Once you've got something on paper, you will be able to edit it, improve it, change it, and make it more specific. So you can solve this issue by writing it down and then editing it and improving the question. There is a tendency among people to think that they want to think clearly about a topic, and once it is clear, then they're going to write the research question. I think the problem with constant thinking is that sometimes we become very, very clear. Other time we lose the thoughts that we already have. Whereas once you have written it on a paper, it just makes it very, very clear for you to read it thoroughly, and you could actually see if this is something you're interested in or not. And you could actually see what are the problem with the questions, and you could make it much more clearer as you move forward. So I suggest writing the question on a paper is a really good strategy. Some other common mistakes that people make is wanting to change the world when thinking of the research topic, setting to prove something, and deciding on your methods first. I think some of these points we've already discussed, but let's look at them one to one. So when you want to change the world, you need to remember that it is a difficult task and you're unlikely to do it. And in order to find ways to change the world, you might set up a project which is too ambitious for yourself, and you may not be able to complete within the time frame, within the boundaries that you have of your role in your PhD or in your program that you are doing. When you want to set out to prove something, usually this kind of proposition is philosophically flawed, because it's very, very difficult to prove anything in the world, and when it comes to research, it proves nothing, and it raises more questions than answers. So actually, if you wanted to prove a viewpoint and you have set up a question like that, you're basically going to find ways to prove that particular point of view, but the data might contradict what you want to prove. So you can end up in problems, and therefore it is another common mistake that people make. And the last one is deciding on your methods first. Many people do that mistakes. They want to choose very different methods because they like those methods, and once they have chosen the method, then they want to choose a research question. And I think that's a completely flawed way of doing it. Always choose your research question first and then go for your methods, because that's the most logical way of doing it, because your question is the one that you want to answer, and methods are the ways which will help you answer that particular research questions when you go into it. So let's recap. When you want to choose a topic or choose a research questions, you need to remember of this question development cycle, which starts off with thinking about a subject, about a topic, reading around that particular topic, reflecting on your thought, discussing it with other people who are around you, who are expert in the field, reading around that particular topic again, reading around the specifications that you have discussed and the knowledge that you have gained from all these different activities, and that will help you develop your question, which you need to write on a piece of paper so that you can edit and improve. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found this information useful. Please feel free to contact me on the given details, and please do subscribe to the channel and like the video if you like to know more about relevant topics, and please do suggest any other topics in comments. Thank you.